You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your 2-week spoilers for June 23rd through July 4th. We've got Adam crashing the party as Billy vows revenge. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, hit subscribe. Let's dive right into the action coming these 2 weeks. Monday, June 23rd, Cane and Victor have a private talk. Remember, Cane said he was going to talk to everybody one-on-one. And Victor says that he and his family are going back to Genoa City, but Cane tries to get him to agree to stay, says he's got a lot planned. Victor thinks Cane is acting like his scheming dad, Colin Atkinson, and then Cane reveals that Colin died 6 months ago, but he had atoned for his life of crime. Victor does apologize and, offer condolences for Cane's loss, but Victor still suspects Cane's company was set up with Colin's dirty criminal money. Cane says it wasn't and said Colin found out he was dying 6 years ago. Cane says Colin cleaned up his act, gave back what he stole, and he and Colin sold his land in Australia, which apparently was a good bit. They invested all that money in crypto and made a killing. So Cane actually offers Victor all of Dumas' holdings if he will let him take over control of Chancellor, but Victor says no way is that going to happen. At the same time, Jack and Nikki are debating if Victor should be worried about Cane. And of course, Jack knows him well and says he does not think anybody should underestimate Cane. Nick doesn't really know much about Cane. They never had a lot of overlap. He's not really invested in any of this except for being worried about his mom, Nikki, if Cane is indeed after Chancellor, which of course he is. Billy gives Sally a little history lesson on Cane and their intertwined past. If you remember, Cane conned Jill into believing he was her son and pretended to be Billy's half-brother. Jack disagrees when Billy tries to tell her that Jill and Catherine used to pit him against Cane. It's clear that Jack doesn't remember it that way at all. Cane tells the group that his charade of pretending to be Dumas just got tiring and he's going back to GC as Cane Ashby, no more Aristotle stuff. And he says the party is a big thank you for all of them for everything he learned from them over the years. To me, that sounds like a big fat lie. This all seems like an elaborate Agatha Christie trap. Devon is irritated and Lily runs off as Cane insists he only used the Dumas name on the invitations because he didn't think anybody would come if he put Cane Ashby on them. Probably accurate. Phyllis is fussing to Amanda, who tells Red that she really respects Cane, and Amanda insists that he is legit and Cane's a successful mogul. But Amanda also refuses to tell Phyllis exactly what Cane's plans are. Phyllis does say she admires how Cane has reinvented himself when she's talking to Nick at the party. Audra tells Kyle she thinks Cane is hot, and Cane tells her that Cane's family are all criminals, which only intrigues Audra more. Billy and Sally are wondering if Cane wants Chancellor, but Jack tells them he thinks there's more to it than that. Billy and Jack also wonder if Jill knows what her precious Cane has been up to. Billy thinks Catherine's will is part of this mess because she always wanted Cane to run Chancellor. Sally's done. She tells Billy, let's just go home. Let's launch Abbott.com with this Dumas reveal story. But Billy wants to stay and see if there's anything else that they can find out, anything they need to know. Plus, Lily rants to Damien and says she shunned Cane because he forgave his thieving father, Colin. If you remember, Colin stole Devon's inheritance a while back. Amanda was part of that, acting as a lawyer, but it didn't seem like she was an actual conspirator. And Damien and Devon also want to go home, but Lily won't until she finds out everything that she can. Then on Tuesday, Michael and Lauren show up late to the party and she asks what they missed and they get filled in. Chance is also there. He arrives around the same time as Michael, Lauren, and Abby do. Jack and Nikki are picking each other's brains. Obviously, it's about Cane versus Victor. Abby has an awkward run-in with Chance. And of course, the big question is, he's not a big businessman. He's a cop. Why was he invited? Is it about Chancellor Industries and him being the real grandchild of Jill? So next week, Kane has a conversation with Jack and Diane. And remember, he's doing all these individual chats with everybody. And Victor presses on Kane to get him to spill the beans on his plan. And Kane tells him some, but I'm sure not all. Wednesday, June 25th, Damien is there to comfort Lily as she's irritated with Kane. Chelsea and Adam are digging around for some info, and I suspect it's about Dumas, and Adam hits pay dirt. Plus, Amanda gives Phyllis an assist for her to get some alone time with Kane to pitch herself. And Amanda reminds Kane on Wednesday to not underestimate Victor. Kane says he won't, but also says Victor keeps underestimating him. Underestimate is the word for the week. There's a whole lot of that word being used. Phyllis interrupts Amanda talking to Kane and says she would never underestimate him. On Thursday, June 26th, Holden saves Claire from some sort of situation. She's telling Holden it's her good fortune to run into him. Holden's telling Claire that he's the lucky one. It's a very strange and flirty vibe. So the question is, what went on with her that she's in this frame of mind to be talking to him like that? Probably doesn't help that she needs somebody there for her, and Kyle is in France. Speaking of, Audra gets Kyle all worked up, and Billy and Sally are plotting against Kane by the end of the week, and this may be about Chancellor. Maybe Billy doesn't want Kane or Victor, either one, to have it. I could see that. Friday, June 27th, Lily gets bold with Damien. Looks like we might be getting some real romance between these two. I mean, Damien's been into Lily for a while, and she's furious at Kane, so Damien might be who she turns to for some stress relief. Phyllis and Sharon get a horrible reminder of their recent trauma. I wonder if one of Kane's games at this party is some kind of weird riddle or an escape room kind of thing. Exactly what would trigger them? And if so, was it done on purpose? Meanwhile, Nick demands to know exactly what Kane's intentions are. The week of June 30th through July 4th, Lily and Damien take a step forward. Lily's basically been playing hard to get, but Damien's been chipping away at her. But with the Kane reveal, Lily may tap the gas and they have a real romance soon. Sharon's all hot and bothered for Nick, jealous about Phyllis, but Phyllis has got her eye on Kane soon. And official spoilers say Nick and Sharon connect in France. Holden and Claire are bonding back in town while she's upset, and I wonder if she gets tipsy and betrays Kyle. Kane wants Chancellor, but Victor's going to fight tooth and nail to keep it in Nikki's hands. And I wonder if Kane set up a contingency takeover plan, some kind of backup plan, if asking Victor nicely didn't work, which he had to know it wouldn't work. Adam's in a panic, trying to reach Victor to deliver dire news about what Kane is planning. Sally and Billy are lashing out. Sally's supposed to be there keeping him from being rash, but then she's all in. Kyle gets way too close to Audra. Chance's arrival in the group brings more drama. Also, just so you know, Friday, July 4th, it's a toss-up on whether it'll be a new episode. 2024, it was a new episode. That was when Chelsea and Adam cheated in Baltimore, but the year before it was Encore. So if you have a rerun airing that gets on your DVR, be sure and delete it, or the Monday, July 7th episode may not tape.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.